As long as there's been video games, there's been myths to follow. Whether discussed in heated debates over online games forums, or argued back and forth while sitting by the playground, myths about our favourite video games have been a topic of conversation for decades. Hey, what's going on guys? It's your boy ProGammar here. In today's video, we discuss the top 5 video game myths. Also, please note that these myths were chosen based on personal preference, so if your favourite video game myths weren't in this video, let us know what they are in the comment section down below. And now, without further ado, let's get into our top 5 video game myths. Number 5. Blowing into game cartridges. Now when I was a young little whippersnapper, there was no better way to start the weekend than to wake up bright and early with a bowl of cereal in one hand and your Nintendo DS in the other. And just as you sat down to eat your big bowl of cereal, you press the power button for your DS and home screen. So, as we all assumed as kids, there's too much dust in the game card slot. So what would you do? You'd blow into it to clear it all out, reinsert the game card, and lo and behold, the game would load, and you were finally ready to become the greatest Pokemon trainer there ever was. But what if I told you that blowing into the game card slot didn't actually make things better, but rather made things worse? You see, blowing onto a DS game cartridge or into the game card slot doesn't actually help clear out dust from the console. Well, in some cases maybe, but by removing and reinserting the game card into the system, you're actually giving the connectivity of the copper pins a second chance to align themselves, which in turn causes the game to load. By blowing into your console, you're actually adding moisture through your breath to the copper pins inside the game cartridge, which in the long run can corrode the copper pins, causing damage to your system. This even got to the point where Nintendo had to put warning labels on both their Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 game cards, advising people against this damaging behaviour. So there we go! Note to self, stop doing that. Number 4. The Maggie level. The Simpsons hit and run. I think it's safe to say if you were born between the years 1995 and 2000, there was one game featuring a cartoon, stereotypical American family that you'd always pick up if you wanted to guarantee yourself a good time. That game being The Simpsons Hit and Run. In The Simpsons Hit and Run, you get to play as not one, but 5 total Simpsons characters, with those being Homer, Marge, Lisa, Bart, and longtime friend Apu, with the player being sent across all of Springfield to discover the mysteries causing the local townsfolk to go insane. Now, although you get to play as 5 Simpsons characters across the game's 7 levels, rumours were spread of a secret 8th level, one in which you get to play as Maggie. And no, these rumours weren't started by that annoying kid Timmy who sat at the end of the slide at the end of the playground, but were actually started by a supposed leak from an early 2000s game magazine. The leak had you follow a specific list of tasks, mostly consisting of locating collectibles, completing levels, and inserting cheat codes. Even popular online chat rooms of the time, such as NeoSeeker, had people questioning the authenticity of the elusive Maggie level. However, despite the speculation, the surrounding rumours were later revealed to be false, with no such level being implemented into the game whatsoever. So I'm sorry Maggie, maybe you can have a level in the sequel, The Simpsons Hit and Run 2. And can someone please make this game already? Number 3. The Yeti. Viva Pinata. When one thinks of mythical creatures, there are many that spring to mind. The mythical one-horned horse, known as a unicorn, a humongous scaly, fire-breathing lizard, known as a dragon, and a tall Himalayan snow creature, known by many as the Yeti. Now in the original Viva Pinata game for the Xbox 360, most of these creatures were released, such as the appropriately and deliciously named Tunicorn, and the delectable sounding Dragonash. However, the elusive Yeti was never to be found. With the ability to create an Antarctic garden using the snow packet, and very few pinatas requiring it within the game, when it comes to mythical, hard to obtain pinatas, no such pinata fit the bill better than the elusive Yeti. Despite the surrounding rumours amongst fans of the franchise, the pinata was actually never released in the series, but not to fret, as the legendary snowman now known as the Jelly was later released in the sequel, Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm on my way to catch 'em all. Oh wait, wrong game? My bad. Number 2. The NBA 2K cover curse. For fans of the coveted NBA 2K franchise, video game myths can't be discussed without the mention of the NBA 2K curse. The NBA 2K curse is both very simple, yet very coincidental, following the premise that whoever is the game's cover athlete for the year will leave their real-life team, whether by trade or off-season signing before the next game's release. Don't believe me? I'll show you. NBA megastar LeBron James was the cover athlete for NBA 2K14 following the series' jump to next-gen consoles. And despite winning back-to-back titles with the Miami Heat in 2012 and 2013, LeBron James left the franchise to sign with his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the very next season. For NBA 2K15, Kevin Durant was the cover athlete, and despite multiple competitive runs at the championship, he left in the off-season to sign with the reigning Golden State Warriors. At this point, it surely seems like a few unlikely coincidences, right? But you'd be highly mistaken. For NBA 2K17, cover athlete Paul George was traded from the Indiana Pacers to the Oklahoma City Thunder. For NBA 2K18, cover athlete Kyrie Irving was traded from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Boston Celtics. And not only was the regular edition cover athlete traded, DeMar DeRozan, the NBA 2K18 Canadian edition cover athlete, was traded from the Toronto Raptors to the San Antonio Spurs. For NBA 2K19, the 20th anniversary edition cover athlete LeBron James left the Cleveland Cavaliers, this time to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. And for NBA 2K20, cover athlete Anthony Davis was traded from the New Orleans Pelicans to team up with LeBron in Los Angeles. Now, whether or not the NBA 2K cover athlete curse is a myth or real life witchcraft in action, this spooky phenomenon haunts the franchises of many fan favorites. But now is not the time to worry about those blockbuster moves. They're all in the past. The question now is, will this year's cover athlete, Damian Lillard, defy all the odds and break this long-running curse, or will we soon see him in a new franchise's jersey? And the moment you've all been waiting for, number 1! Kenny lives The Walking Dead. Now this last myth is more of a personal fan theory rather than a common gaming folktale, and as a heads up, this myth will also contain spoilers towards the Walking Dead franchise by Telltale Games. However, if you haven't already played one of the highest praised Choice Matters games since 2012, then I'm sure you'll be fine. But anyway, in Telltale's The Walking Dead, you'll encounter a character named Kenny, a rough, hard-headed father who joins forces with you on your journey to reach safety amidst the zombie apocalypse. Now, no matter the choices you make in the series, at one point or another, Kenny will die. Or so it is commonly thought. However, depending on the choices you make, there is a possibility he lives, but is never heard from again. Let me explain. At the end of The Walking Dead Season 2, there are 4 potential endings. Depending on your choices, you can either go with AJ alone, go with Jane, go with Kenny, or go to Wellington with AJ. Now by choosing the options go with AJ alone and go with Jane, both endings require Kenny to die during the ending sequence of your story. Therefore in this timeline, Kenny dies. In choosing the go with Kenny ending, Kenny does live, however during one of Clementine's Season 3 flashbacks, it's later revealed that Kenny died after a horrific car accident, causing him full body paralysis and to later be eaten by a horde of zombies whilst causing a distraction to allow you, Clementine, or you the player, to escape unscathed. So, despite Kenny surviving the Season 2 ending, following this timeline, Kenny also dies. Now in the last ending, Go to Wellington with AJ, Kenny takes you the player, or Clementine, and AJ to Wellington, an isolated safe haven community in order to survive the zombie apocalypse. However, due to their community being at capacity, they only agree to allow the children, or Clementine and AJ, into the community. Despite the community's strict policies, the guards at Wellington kindly offer Kenny a rucksack full of supplies to aid him on his journey. Following our emotional farewell, as the player, we watch Kenny as he walks off into the wilderness, never to be seen again. Even in later seasons of the franchise, if you choose this ending, there is no reference to Kenny's death, but rather it's just assumed that Kenny died, fighting to survive in the wilderness alone. However, despite this assumption, with all the supplies Kenny received, and with his experience in surviving zombie hordes, there is definitely a possibility that Kenny could live, surviving long enough to find another safe community or live alone in solitude with his survival skills. Therefore, depending on your choices, although it has never been confirmed by Telltale Games themselves, the myth that Kenny could survive in a specific timeline is definitely plausible. So there we go guys, that's our list. That's our top 5 video game myths. What did you guys think? Your favourite video game myths in today's video? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget, if you want to keep up to date with all things ProGammar related, the social media links are in the description below. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give us a like, comment, and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated. So that's today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video, whatever that is, whatever that's going to be about, I don't know. But until then, guys, I'll catch you there. See ya!